By 2050, the global population is expected to exceed 10 billion. That's a lot of mouths to feed, and traditional farming just won't cut it. Land is running out, water is becoming scarcer, and the environmental cost of shipping food is higher than ever. But what if we could grow food right in the heart of our cities? What if the future of agriculture wasn't sprawling fields, but towering skyscrapers? Vertical farming is already making this possible, transforming food production and opening up new possibilities. Could this be the key to feeding the world? Let's take a closer look. As the world faces challenges like climate change and resource scarcity, traditional farming no longer fits the equation. As cities expand and populations grow, farmland is becoming increasingly scarce. With urban areas replacing wide-open fields, the pressure to find innovative food production methods has never been greater. Vertical farming steps in as a viable solution to meet this demand. Imagine turning a building into a self-sustaining farm, growing everything from leafy greens to herbs, all without the need for traditional soil. This method not only saves space, but also uses less water and fewer resources, making it a far more sustainable option for the future. Vertical farming makes it possible to grow food in the very spaces where people live, repurposing rooftops, warehouses, and other urban locations to reduce environmental impact. As the demand for food continues to rise, vertical farming provides a viable solution. It optimizes space, reduces waste, and produces fresh food on-site with a smaller environmental impact. Could vertical farming be the future of food production? Let's explore its potential. Traditional agriculture, while serving humanity for centuries, faces mounting challenges that threaten its sustainability in the modern era. One of the most pressing issues is soil degradation, a consequence of overcultivation, deforestation, and poor farming practices. Fertile soil, the foundation of agriculture, is being lost at an alarming rate, with the United Nations reporting that over 33% of the world's soil has already been degraded. This poses a significant threat to global food security. Another critical issue is water scarcity. Agriculture accounts for nearly 70% of global freshwater usage, making it the largest consumer of this precious resource. In many regions, excessive water withdrawal for irrigation has led to depleted aquifers and dried up rivers. As climate change accelerates, rainfall patterns are becoming more unpredictable, further exacerbating the water crisis and making traditional farming methods increasingly unsustainable. Transportation challenges add another layer of complexity. The modern food system relies heavily on long supply chains to move produce from rural farms to urban centers. These food miles contribute significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, particularly carbon dioxide, from the fuel used in transportation. For example, fruits and vegetables often travel thousands of kilometers before reaching supermarket shelves, increasing their carbon footprint and environmental impact. Deforestation, driven by agricultural expansion, has devastating consequences for biodiversity and the environment. Clearing forests for farmland not only destroys natural habitats, but also releases vast amounts of stored carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, accelerating global warming. Meanwhile, the encroachment of farming into forested areas puts additional pressure on ecosystems already struggling to adapt to a changing climate. Urbanization and rapid population growth are driving significant changes in land use. Expanding cities are encroaching on farmland, reducing its availability and putting immense pressure on agricultural resources. This urban sprawl underscores the need for more sustainable and space-efficient farming methods. As cities grow, the demand for food rises, but traditional farming methods struggle to keep pace, especially in areas with limited arable land. Traditional farming's reliance on extensive land and water resources, coupled with its environmental drawbacks, highlights the urgent need for innovative solutions. Without addressing these challenges, the future of food production faces significant uncertainties, leaving humanity ill-prepared to feed a growing global population sustainably. By recognizing these limitations, the world can begin to explore alternative methods of food production that minimize environmental impact, optimize resource use, and adapt to the realities of a changing planet. Vertical farming, for example, is emerging as a promising solution to these challenges, offering a more efficient and sustainable way to meet the world's food needs. Vertical farming is transforming how we produce food by reimagining traditional agriculture. Instead of using sprawling fields, vertical farms grow crops in vertically stacked layers, often in warehouses, skyscrapers, or repurposed buildings. These farms leverage cutting-edge technology to create controlled environments where every aspect of the growing process, from light to water to temperature, can be fine-tuned for maximum efficiency and yield. AeroFarms, based in New Jersey, is a leader in vertical farming that utilizes aeroponic systems, where crops grow suspended in air and are fed nutrient-rich mist. This cutting-edge technology reduces water usage by 95% compared to traditional farming, allowing AeroFarms to produce fresh, high-quality leafy greens year-round while conserving resources. Similarly, Mirai in Tokyo showcases the power of LED lighting technology in urban vertical farming. By simulating natural sunlight, Mirai creates optimal growing conditions that enable crops to thrive, regardless of external weather conditions. The facility's controlled environment results in up to 100 times the yield per square foot compared to traditional farming methods, ensuring faster and healthier growth cycles. One of the biggest advantages of vertical farming is its space efficiency. By stacking crops in layers, vertical farms can produce massive amounts of food in a fraction of the space required for traditional agriculture. This is particularly valuable in urban areas where land is scarce and expensive. Vertical farms can be established in unused warehouses, shipping containers, or even the basements of office buildings, making it possible to grow food close to the people who will consume it. In addition to saving space and water, vertical farming significantly reduces carbon emissions by cutting down on food miles. Traditional agriculture often involves transporting produce across long distances to reach urban centers, adding to greenhouse gas emissions. With vertical farms located right in the cities they serve, the journey from farm to table is much shorter. For example, greens harvested at AeroFarms can reach nearby grocery stores within hours, ensuring fresher produce and reducing the environmental impact of transportation. The environmental benefits don't stop there. Vertical farms also use far fewer pesticides and fertilizers than traditional farms. Since crops are grown indoors, they are shielded from pests and diseases that typically require chemical treatments. This results in cleaner produce and minimizes the runoff of harmful chemicals into the environment. By integrating rainwater collection and condensation harvesting, these farms reduce their water consumption to levels unattainable by traditional methods. While vertical farming is still a relatively small part of global food production, its potential is enormous. It's not just about growing food, it's about creating a system that works with the challenges of urbanization and environmental change. By optimizing resources and bringing food production closer to urban consumers, vertical farming is poised to play a critical role in feeding the future. As we've seen with AeroFarms and Mirai, this innovative approach is already proving its worth in cities around the world. Vertical farming isn't just about producing more food, it's about doing so in a way that's sustainable for the planet. By rethinking traditional agricultural methods, vertical farming offers solutions to some of the most pressing environmental challenges we face today. One of the standout features of vertical farming is its ability to drastically reduce water consumption. With closed-loop systems and rainwater collection, vertical farms achieve up to 95% water savings compared to traditional agriculture. ensuring sustainable resource use. Another key sustainability factor is the use of renewable energy. Many vertical farms are powered by solar panels, wind turbines, or other green energy sources, reducing their reliance on fossil fuels. For instance, vertical farming's energy-efficient LED lighting reduces power usage while supporting sustainable practices, especially when paired with renewable energy sources, ensuring maximum growth with minimal energy consumption. By integrating renewable energy, vertical farms can offset their energy demands and operate in an environmentally responsible manner. The use of pesticides and fertilizers is another area where vertical farming shines. Because crops are grown indoors in controlled environments, they are protected from pests and diseases that typically plague traditional farms. This eliminates the need for harmful chemical pesticides, resulting in cleaner produce and less environmental contamination. Similarly, fertilizers are used sparingly, as nutrients can be delivered directly to plants in precise amounts. This prevents the runoff of excess fertilizers into rivers and streams, which is a major environmental issue in traditional farming. Vertical farming also plays a role in repurposing existing structures, reducing urban sprawl. Instead of clearing forests or converting natural habitats into farmland, instead of expanding into natural habitats, vertical farms repurpose existing spaces like warehouses, old factories, and shipping containers, preserving ecosystems while optimizing land use. Shorter supply chains also mean fresher produce and less food waste, as crops can be harvested and delivered locally within hours. Imagine urban neighborhoods with vertical farms built into apartment complexes, shopping centers, or even public spaces. This not only provides local communities with fresh food, but also reduces the environmental impact of urbanization by creating self-sustaining food systems within city boundaries. In many ways, vertical farming represents the future of sustainable agriculture. By conserving water, reducing reliance on harmful chemicals, and repurposing existing spaces, it offers a model for growing food that aligns with the needs of a rapidly urbanizing and environmentally conscious world. It's not just about producing food, it's about producing it responsibly, ensuring that we can meet the demands of a growing population without compromising the health of our planet. Vertical farming is more than a trend. It's a step toward a more sustainable and resilient future. Vertical farming offers significant economic benefits, particularly for urban areas where traditional farming is either impractical or impossible. By bringing food production directly into cities, vertical farming can create jobs, reduce supply chain costs, and help cities become more self-reliant. One of the most immediate economic advantages of vertical farming is job creation. Vertical farms require a wide range of skilled and unskilled labor, from engineers and technicians to growers and logistics coordinators. Jobs are generated in fields like facility maintenance, software management for automated systems, and nutrient and water system monitoring. These opportunities are especially valuable in urban areas where job creation is often a priority. Additionally, vertical farms often spur local entrepreneurship, with businesses emerging to provide supplies, maintenance services, and distribution networks for these facilities. Shorter supply chains mean fewer intermediaries, which translates to fresher produce reaching consumers faster. Urban areas that adopt vertical farming can also reduce their reliance on imported food. Many cities depend heavily on food brought in from rural areas or even other countries, making their food supply vulnerable to disruptions such as extreme weather events, trade restrictions, or rising fuel costs. Vertical farming addresses this vulnerability by allowing cities to produce their own fresh produce, increasing food security and self-sufficiency. For example, leafy greens and herbs, staples in many diets, can be grown year-round in vertical farms, ensuring a consistent local supply. Moreover, integrating vertical farming into urban designs and policies can amplify its economic impact. City planners and policymakers can incorporate vertical farms into new building projects, zoning regulations, and redevelopment plans. For instance, abandoned warehouses and factories can be converted into vertical farms, revitalizing neglected areas and boosting local economies. Developers might also include vertical farms in residential or commercial projects, providing fresh produce to tenants while enhancing the building's appeal and sustainability credentials. Governments can incentivize vertical farming through grants, tax breaks, or partnerships, encouraging businesses to invest in this innovative approach. By incorporating vertical farming into urban policy, cities can ensure that it becomes a long-term fixture in their economic and environmental strategies. Another potential urban benefit is the role vertical farms can play in community engagement. Many vertical farms partner with local schools and organizations to educate residents about sustainable agriculture, nutrition, and the importance of local food systems. These partnerships not only raise awareness, but also foster a sense of community ownership and pride in local food production. The economic advantages of vertical farming extend beyond direct financial savings and job creation. By fostering local food systems, reducing dependence on external supply chains, and integrating sustainable practices into urban planning, vertical farming enhances a city's resilience and adaptability. It's a practical investment that pays dividends in the form of healthier communities, stronger local economies, and a reduced environmental footprint. As cities around the world face growing populations and resource constraints, vertical farming provides a pathway to sustainable economic growth. It empowers urban centers to take control of their food systems while addressing critical challenges like job creation, food security, and environmental sustainability. The result? Cities that are better equipped to support their residents and thrive in the face of future challenges. Vertical farming brings agriculture into urban centers, offering a sustainable way to feed a growing population while addressing environmental and economic challenges. By shortening supply chains, conserving water, and creating jobs, it lays the foundation for cities to become self-sustaining food hubs of the future. Imagine a world where fresh, pesticide-free produce is grown a few blocks away, supporting local communities and preserving the planet. It's not just a possibility, it's happening now. If you're fascinated by how technologies like vertical farming are reshaping our world, check out our related videos. The rise of OpenAI and how a taxi driver turned a $500 tip into a multi-million-dollar real estate portfolio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the innovations shaping our future.